Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans, and all you ancient Sith Lords out there to today's video where we got a treat for all you guys. We have 1 week early access of Darth Bane Omicron versus Galactic Legends. And let's just say the initial impressions are looking really darn good. Really excited to show you guys this today. This is coming from our resident data miner, Barbarossa. He's got this little cool tool. You know, maybe we shouldn't talk too much about it, but he shows gameplay of things that aren't accessible yet inside of the Galaxy Heroes community. And he was able to get us some actual Relic 9 gameplay, Omicrons, and actually fighting real Galactic Legends out there in the wild, which is something we can't do until next week, and then when Grand Arena really comes around. So let me show you what we got cooking. Let's not keep you guys in too much suspense. I guess this weekend's turned out to be all about Darth Bane. We talked about yesterday how the developers updated the kit, which is a massive change for Darth Bane, where he's no longer getting 100% turn meter, he's getting a bonus turn. And now we can really see this in action. Sith Eternal, Darth Bane, obviously the main bread and butter combo. We're going to see it up against a couple Galactic Legends. Obviously more that we're going to discover as community once Bane gets unlocked, but the Master Kenobi battle is looking really juicy. We have two battles here, one with an amazing win and one that was close to amazing, but was kind of cut short here. This is probably the highlight reel right here. We get Sith Eternal Ultimate, which is one thing that we're noticing, that Darth Bane really supercharged the Ultimate on Sith Eternal, and when Bane dies off, he feeds a bunch of stats over the Sith Eternal and completely yeetifies the entire enemy team. Look at that damage. I believe he did have a Datacron on, some crit damage of some sort, but also to show you again, there's so much to learn about this guy. You know, Barbarossa just kind of jumped in some random gameplay and just showed what he came across. So there might be some fine tuning, but here's another clip here where we didn't quite get the win in this scenario, but we still got the ultimate very fast. So again, remember the highlights of what Bane is supposed to bring to the table. Allowing whoever he's with to ignore a taunt, which is a really big deal. No longer does Sith Eternal have to sit behind a taunt and waste his link. He can link up Commander Tano and Ahsoka Tano, which is big. Faster ultimate charge. You get to kill out the main core of the Kenobi team very quickly. And on top of that, we're also getting tons of max health, tons of max protection. And also we have the ability to dispel all the debuffs on ourselves. Remember, they're trying to make this in a way where we no longer need Wat Timbor. They really are trying to push Wat Timbor permanently inside of a trench lineup or just Separatist in general or some other plug and play fashion. And also trying to replace the armor a little bit on top of that, because they really want to keep the identity close to just Sith focus. And when we think about lift their units, people, this is what a Galactic Legend lifter should do, where we're showing up against the top 3 Galactic Legends of Leia, Jabba, Jedi Master Kenobi in the game. We're seeing that Sith Eternal likely, especially we have bonus gameplay of Lord Vader, a battle that Sith Eternal was just really never able to win. This might enable Sith Eternal finally, with the help of Darth Bane, those Omicrons, all that fun jazz, to possibly take down every Galactic Legend on offense. Beforehand, it was kind of, listen, there was no other way of putting it. He was the worst Galactic Legend game. Cheap to get, easy to get, but he's definitely lost his mileage. Rey battles got trickier once Ben kind of came into the picture. Leia battles are tough. Kenobi battles, you really need some really funky combo to get the win. And then Lord Vader, pretty much impossible. Jabba was not a very pleasant battle. If we're able to beat Jabba, Leia, Lord Vader, and make Kenobi battles high banner wins, this is looking really darn good for Sith Eternal. Not like Leia was an impossible battle before, but you really need some like high shelf Sith to make it work. But the thing that we got to really see here for Grand Arena, it's very evident it's gonna be mostly an offense thing, because you can't have the rule of 2 on defense. You can't just put 2 Sith Lords on defense. So very much so an offensive powerhouse team. But if you can leave most battles in a 5v5 or 3v3, I guess, with a 64-65 banner win plus, that's big. Check this out right here. Lord Vader, basically a tough battle. But I think the reason why it's so much easier now for Sith Eternal is because of all of the increased damage that we have. And funny enough, it's not the Gucci Man, Sith Eternal, carrying this battle here. Darth Bane, spoiler alert, is going to be the one carrying this at the very end. Because remember, the other big thing here is that with the rule of 2, whenever Bane or the other allies defeated, the remaining ally is going to get 5% critical damage offense potency plus an additional 15% of these stats per the defeated character's relic amplifier level until the end of the battle. And it gets even better. And when you have the Omicron, we're in the Omicron, Bane's gonna get tons of extra mastery, and then whenever enemies defeated, Bane's gonna get extra max health, max protection, offense. So as we're saying with the Omicron, again, this is all Omicron gameplay. Darth Bane's damage that he's dealing and Sith Eternal can do as a result is really what I think is making the Lord Vader battle easier, because otherwise Link doesn't do a whole lot, but being able to ignore the taunt, blitz down the maul on the team, and then all of a sudden we get this massive damage from Bane. Yeah, he's definitely an attacker, as we can see here. There we go, pop the ultimate, let's get rid of the Royal Guard, and now we're down to just these two. I mean, this is just quite something to see, man. It's just I wasn't expecting to go up against Lord Vader and make it so much easier, but yeah, Bane is definitely enabling that for us. And man, does that Essence of Dominance also do some pretty serious damage on top of it? Because remember, he's gonna do all this damage based on Bane's max health, when Bane's gonna have health mods likely, and all these other things that are supercharging his health stat. He really hits darn hard at that Essence of Dominance. And it's so nice thing that they updated his kit, they made a buff to it, where he's able to get out there, increase the cooldowns, do this amazing damage straight from the get-go. Oh man, we got one more bonus battle against Jabba. Still looks to be a mildly annoying battle, but before it was kind of hit or miss if you're gonna make Sith Eternal beat Jabba. I would say it was definitely in favor of Jabba to win it, or it'd be a timeout situation. Still looks timeouty, but with all that extra damage that Sith Eternal now has as a result of Bane, it seems like Jabba should be more manageable. So I think this is gonna be a massive win for Sith Eternal. Obviously, we're just seeing how Bane is working in the context of Sith Eternal. I keep getting this question, even though we've talked about this to great lengths. People think they're not going to benefit from Darth Bane if they don't have Sith Eternal. Remember, Sith Eternal's obviously the peak use out of Darth Bane. Taking a Galactic Legend and getting high banners against, likely, we got to wait and see, likely against every Galactic Legend now is a huge thing. And everything else is not going to look as good. But what about Darth Bane with Lord Vader? What about Darth Bane with Malgus or Malik or Traya, Savage? The list goes on. If you have a Sith, you likely are going to want to see what Darth Bane is going to do with him. And on top of that, the other thing we're not seeing now, it's going to be hard to tell if we're going to really see this at all, because if we're able to do this with Bane and Sith Eternal, I don't know why we want to use Bane as a lead, but hey, it just goes to show, if you don't have Darth Bane, but you have a variety of Sith Lords, you might have a Vader or a Sith Marauder laying around, something of that sort, maybe some Darth Revans. If you use only the strong survive, maybe there's going to be something good out of that. So this is going to be one of those characters. I don't think it's going to be like Ben, where the only reason to get Ben is if you have Galactic Legend Reign. Otherwise, not really much else used for it. This is going to be one of those characters, maybe not Malicos, Commander Tano, and Maul, where they have a lot of playish viability. I think he's close to that realm where he's going to work with a variety of Sith. He's going to have his prime use with this guy right here. But if you can maybe use him as a lead and it's pretty decent, like if you can make Darth Bane beat, like Darth Malgus maybe, or General Anakin Skywalker with leftover Sith, that's going to be a big win. We have no gameplay of that just yet, but next week we'll be able to see his lead in action. Because remember, the lead is only a Zeta ability, not an Omicron. So that we can kind of see the full picture of come next week. But otherwise, man, it's quite nice to see Sith Eternal get a very proper lifter. I was expecting whenever Sith Eternal did get a lifter, it'd be kind of like something like with Ben, where you still want to have a full team of 5. And, Ben's not bad, don't get me wrong, but I gotta say, Ben feels to be the most bland, one of the more bland conquests. He's just there to complicate the raid puzzle a little bit. Darth Bane looks incredibly exciting. Takes the dead last Galactic Legend in terms of power. Where is he going to fall? I mean, on offense, he might be potentially the best offensive Galactic Legend now, which is nice to see. But on defense, and this is the big kicker right here, we're not really in a market right now where we need more offensive teams. We're in a market right now where defense is, because we can't put as many teams down on defense, we need teams that can do a lot better. So unfortunately, I don't think Bane and Sith Eternal are going to be great on defense, because you miss all the Rule of 2 stuff. But who knows? Maybe we'll be surprised. Maybe without the Rule of 2 being active, maybe something cool will still happen as a result. So this is your little teaser. We're in the final week to unlocking Darth Bane. So hopefully this gives you all the motivation you need to get across the finish line. So hopefully I guess you enjoyed this unofficial weekend of Darth Bane celebration. Would love to hear your thoughts down below. Man, it's gonna be a fun week next week. Stay tuned. Love you guys. And always remember, until we meet again, It's great to be in the Sith Empire today. It's great to be in the